Welcome to the 29 for 29 podcast. 29 for 29 is an initiative to enable, amplify, and support young climate change makers in the run up to COP29. Our mission is to amplify their voices and provide them with a platform to share their stories and inspire young people. Today, we are joined by Divanshu Bhola. Welcome, Divanshu. So glad to have you here on the podcast today.
It is my pleasure. Thank you so much for having me here with you. Thank you.
Pleasure. All right, so let's begin. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and your work?
Hello, everyone. Hello to all the dear listeners who are listening to this podcast. My name is Divanshu, as you all are aware now. My work spans around environment advocacy, environmental conservation, plastic waste awareness, and especially I link theatre and environment advocacy. So my works started from a very small initiative of picking up garbage from nearby localities, and it eventually started growing bigger and bigger, and we were able to manage 200 kg of plastic waste, and from there it converted into a more of a advocacy task where we make people aware about plastic waste, its harmful impact. Then it goes beyond plastic waste, and that's how my journey started from advocacy to awareness and then implementing projects and starting working with various youth groups and organizations and global organizations as well.
That's wonderful to hear, truly. I would like to ask you what inspired you to join the climate movement and how has your journey been up until now?
So if I talk about my inspiration to join, honestly telling you, it's my mother. I tell you the reason because I used to spend a lot of time with my mother in my garden, and she loves gardening. Trust me. We used to have 70 pots while I was there. It's been 5 years. I left my home because of my education, work. It's been 5 years now, and 5 years back we used to have 70 pots, and she loved them all with all her heart, and I used to spend that time with her, and then I developed that gratitude for nature, and it becomes a source of calmness for me. And when COVID hits, it like we spend a lot of times at home, and she inspired me to do something. So I was just walking around my colony only, and I see huge dump of plastic waste in journal is growing around my locality, and major portion of it was the plastic waste. And mixed waste does not decompose, and it has a foul smell. The cows were coming around that dump. They were eating the plastic, and even animal were dying. So it was creating a lot of problems. Then I went back home. I discussed that with my mother, and my mother said, "Do something about it." She said it very journal in a very journalized way. You can do something about it. Do it, and if you cannot, don't do it. But I was motivated enough, and then I started taking action. And my journey been a really challenging one in starting. Honestly, I was a very young. I was 16 years old at that time, and I was like that statement hits me hard, and like, okay, I have to do something now. And I started my journey from first understanding what I can do, about this plastic waste problem. And then I took and then I did a research about it. So what I can do. So after my research, I got to know about a couple of things. I choose making eco bricks out of plastic waste, and then I started making eco bricks at home. When I was successfully made one eco brick, it was 700 gram of eco bricks from filled in 2 liters of Coca-Cola bottle, and I was very happy. It was as hard as brick, and I remember fighting with my sister with that eco brick. So after that, we were able to manage 200 kg of waste to making eco bricks. We built up a stool from plastic waste, which was made using 40 kg of single-use plastic bags. We gifted that to Deputy Commissioner of Kapurthala, and she was really happy about it. She sent it to the publications in the nearby area. But my journey, if I talk about now, my journey is just, I think it was full of challenges because when you're young, people are not ready to listen to you, and they take you like you're young, you do not have an idea about how world operates. You just have a high lots of energy, but people are not going to change. The administration is not going to change, and the community is not going to change. That I heard a lot during its times. But trust me, I was able to. I remember going to my deputy commissioner 8 times, and I was consistent. I was consistent. First time, I was not even allowed to meet her because I was 16 years old. She said, and then after fourth meet time I visited them, her PA got recognized me and she asked me to just spend 5 minutes inside. I went to deputy commissioner and said, "Ma'am," uh, at that time it was the deputy commissioner was Miss Dipti Uppal. I said, "Ma'am, I really want to do something about Kapurthala waste generation problem." What she said is, "Divanshu, I handle 125 departments. Do you have anything that you want to suggest to me?" I was blank at that time. And then she said, "Divanshu, please come back with some research and something that you would like to present." I went back. I did a survey. You will laugh at this thing. I did a survey in Kapurthala locality. It was my first survey in my life. I was 16 or 16 and a half, something like that. And only 35 of my friends filled that form. I again went back. It was just 35 responses. I went back to deputy commissioner and showed that this is what I did. This is my research. You should do something about it. Then she again looked at me and asked, "How many responses did you get from the survey?" I said, "Ma'am, 55." I lied at that time to make that it seems to be serious. She said, "The population of Kapurthala is nearly 1 lakh." So she said, "Okay, I give you one chance. Do something for making people aware. If you're so enthusiastic, do Nukkad Nataks. Do something to make people aware." I said, "Okay, I will do it." I do not. I did not even had an idea what is Nukkad Natak is. I just did it in the school function once, and I was like, "Okay, I will do it." And then from that point, my journey began, and was able to do that Nukkad Natak that I have written, I have directed in 200 venues. And the deputy commissioner then has awarded our team, and then we got various opportunities. The one found me is that you have to be present as a young change maker. I think never ever feel invalid. The organizations, there are big organizations, the people that we are fighting against, I don't I think I will correct myself, not the people we are fighting against. I will, because I don't like that term. I think the cause we are fighting for is very big. And sometimes we feel invalid. Sometimes we feel what we are doing is not very significant. And sometimes we feel whatever action we are doing, action we are taking or step we are taking is not going to make us bring the change. But in my journey, that lesson always sticked with me that whatever you do, and whenever you show up for your work, and whenever you show up for your cause, it always brings a positive outcome. And consistency is the key. And it helped me a lot in my journey. I hope I was able to give you the crux of my journey.
No, that was extremely interesting. And I think, like you said, it's been a tough journey, but so worth it, I'm sure. Um, you said that you worked with district administrations in your story, and also, I think, with municipal corporations, educational institutes, in order to integrate sustainability and peace building into communities, right? So, what are some of the challenges and successes that you've encountered in bringing these two sectors together for impactful change?
About my work, as I mentioned, it started from a very naive perspective of helping the community. And then I started working in climate change movement, environment conservation. And then I realized people are not very much willing to listen to me in one way or other because I was young. And then I decided that I should move to the one that is a powerhouse in the community or in the society. That is district administration. So district administration has a power because they implement all the things. And I moved to district administration. As told you, I had to schedule a number of meetings, wait for long hours, but I was able to crack it. When I meet DC as a 60-year-old guy, I cannot tell you मैं उतना खुश आज तक नहीं हुआ. I was like happiest guy on the world being awarded by the district commissioner, and then was able to implement change. Then what I did is, after doing Nukkad Nataks, I told ma'am that you should provide us a systematic system to introduce the change. For example, I want you to introduce 5-day curriculum in government schools where I go to them and I teach them about biodiversity, I teach them about pollution, I teach them about conservation, I teach them about plastic waste management, and in journal, what is climate change. And then I talked about these 5 topics. District commissioners, they have government fundings, but for a certain program. She said, I will be willing to do it, but integrate drug awareness in that. Because we have Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan, and you have to do it for that. I will give you 15 schools for the beginning, 15 government schools. Government schools in Punjab, and drug is a big issue in Punjab. And then I was working with Dr. Sandeep Bhola. He's a very renowned personality in a drug awareness, drug de-addiction department across the world. So I went to him. Our team had a training, and then we were like trained on how to handle that sessions. Then my work expanded. I started working in Delhi. I started working with various schools. After completing those 15 schools, having a very good sessions experience of building curriculum and then introducing curriculum, and then district commissioner awarded me the district award, which is I was the youngest awardee during the Independence Day award ceremony. So after that, my work expanded from various schools in Punjab. I shifted to Delhi. So my focus area there was sustainability. When I moved to Delhi, I had a certain experience of theater, and then I had a theater experience of teaching, building curriculum, and then now I wanted to expand it. So I started getting training as a professional theater actor, and I worked with National School of Drama, Sangeet Natak Academy, and then various. You know about Mandi House in Delhi. I mostly performed at various stages of Mandi House, and I became a professional theater actor, which is a great thing that I loved about it. I fall in love with theater and its impact on people, and how storytelling can change the life. I then linked theater storytelling in school curriculum. Like, for example, I want to teach you about SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, which everyone is talking about. I have been to 40 plus schools in capital region, NCR, Delhi NCR. Trust me, SDGs are there to just showcase. I can tell you, people are, especially the young people of India, are not aware about SDGs. And they will never get aware about SDGs because that information is not readily available to them. What I did in for that cause, I studied SDGs and then I made stories out of it. And every SDGs, I have one story to tell. If you want to learn about SDGs, I have a solution. I will narrate a story for you and you will understand that SDG. And I have conducted that 60 plus sessions in the schools, and students engaged with those sessions very, very fondly because they were listening to stories, they were hearing about the characters, they were experiencing their emotions, and they were connecting with them. And all these things made that information very easily available for them, and that action oriented also. So they were able to think about action they would take. My session is always followed by the reflection sheets that they fill, that what they can do. And after that, I understood my niche is theater. I'm working in environment, but still something is missing. Peace. Why peace is important? Peace is I think every change maker in this world will unanimously agree that we would like a peaceful world, but we majorly neglect peace. We talk about Shanti peace. It's integrated in our Indian culture, but we are not peace education. We are not being provided peace education, value education, life skill education in the schools. I was very fed up with the education system as I was working in for the education system. As I was working with the education system, I was again finding few flaws and getting frustrated from it. So what happened is I was looking forward to the peace education, like how I can get myself linked with it. So then I found Global Peace Foundation India and I started working with them. And then I got to know peace is such a big intersection of my work. I want environmental peace. I do not want any war to happen because war is the biggest, if war is happening, You cannot talk about environmental conservation. People will die. The huge ecosystem will be like, I think biodiversity will be lost. The forest will be no longer there. The air quality will be poor. The water supply will be not there. Everything will be devastated if there is a war. So peace is something that I became increasingly interested in. And then I had advanced peace training. I worked with GPF India. And then I again did one thing. Whenever I learn something, I try to spread it more and more. I initiated a program with GPF India where I again went to the schools for peace training. So we started first Peace Hub trainings where school become Peace Hub. What is Peace Hub? Peace Hub is a space or a community or a organization equipped with a advanced training of peace, and they can be they can provide conflict resolution. तो मुझे बड़ा इंटरेस्ट बना इसमें, और then I started working in peace building majorly. So and then that is how my intersections collided: theater, environment, and peace. These are the three things that I'm currently working in, and combining all these three to make a world more peaceful, safe space, and a sustainable world. So that is what I'm doing.
That was wonderful to hear, truly. Um, you mentioned theater and how you do nukkar nataks in schools, and SDGs being one of the things that you worked on. But can you recall an example where this creative approach of yours had a very strong impact on students?
In Delhi schools, I tell you about this very beautiful story that how theater changed my life. How it has an impact on people, but how it eventually impacted my life. So I was in one of the school to take sessions on SG storytelling. It was 6 day long session. Each day I will be spending 1.5 hours in the school. It is one of the renowned school in Delhi, and I was taking session, and we were doing case studies in that. Every day we will be going with one case study that will focus on one SGs in a day. So we were covering six SGs, six case studies. And on the last day of the session, when we compiled our studies, case studies, and we were discussing what we will be doing, how we will be doing, the students stressed me. Students said, "Sir, we were just taught about SDGs. We will talk about SDGs whenever our teacher asks us to. But this time we understood the SDGs. And thank you so much for making it so easy for us that now we can take action." And that words impacted me a lot. And then I said, I promised them, whenever you need my help, we will be doing certain things, and I will be coming back to you whenever possible. Trust me, that school I got appointment offer from that school at a very young age to be the educator. So I got appointment offer. Then again, I was asked to join them for full time positions, and then eventually my journey started in the academia as well. And then I introduced various changes in that system as well. So that is how I was able to create impact in my community of learners that I interacted with. And the usual feedbacks are definitely they enjoyed the session, they are empowered to take action. They take action, like my students started their podcast series. They talk about these issues. They feel empowered to take action. So I think these are the things that I felt were there.
That was very interesting and very moving, actually, how art can bring about that kind of change. And I think you're doing such great work. So kudos to you. Um, I would now like you to give a one-line message to young people out there who, wish to create an impact or become change makers just like you.
Honestly, at this time in this 21st century, this is my message for everyone that don't get overwhelmed. The problems are really, really, really big. The anxiety to solve these things is really there. But think about this problem as something that will eventually make you better. Don't try to save the world. don't try. I think it is a too big of a responsibility. But try to do something on each and every day that will make you happy, and try make you happy in a way that you are achieving the cause that you want to work for. And I think that everyday steps will eventually make this world a better place. But don't think about the world, think about you and your happiness, and take small steps every day.
I think that was a very practical message from your end. Thank you so much for that. And with that, we have come to the end of our podcast. Thank you again for telling us about your journey and your thoughts. And it was lovely having you on today. Thank you.
It was my pleasure to be with you, and it was such a delightful conversation. Thank you so much for bearing with me. And it is my pleasure, and looking forward to such a conversation. Uh, Thank you for providing me this plan. It's my pleasure.